Now you say the Most High gave His word to everybody, right?
That bond is you living out right now. That bond is why you at the bus stop right now.
You understand? The scripture says, any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. They think the law is a small thing.
Separate, man. We are separate from these other nations, man.
That's right.
So much that in our poverty, in our hell, I'm going to come and deliver the broken, destroyed, messed up, poor, impoverished people. I'm going to save.
Yo niggas ain't tough. Yo niggas ain't tough. You yo niggas ain't tough.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Yahweh Bashim Yaw Shah Brakatah. Yahweh Shema Alatah Bashim Yaw Shah to all the sisters, man. Listen, it's Captain 13,000, the card of a rhyme, checking in with the Israelite School of UPK under Commander Junior Hunt.
Power, and you know we not no cowards. Oh, you on that?
Listen, man, this year's 52nd annual Passover. Hold on, I'm gonna say it one more time. This year's 52nd annual Passover under Commander Junior Hunter under the ISUPK. Couldn't do it last year. Y'all already know the Lord had his foot on our oppressor's neck.
Here in New York City, there are roughly 1,000 cases a day. Those are numbers they haven't seen since May.
Can't do it in New York this year because the Lord still got his foot on our oppressor's neck.
New York, the center of the outbreak this spring, is now teetering on another deadly explosion of the virus.
But listen to me good. This year, 52nd annual Passover, April 24th, 2021. You understand? It's gonna be in H-Town, baby.
It's gonna be at the B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do.
2021, ISUPK, 52nd annual Passover. All the generals gonna be there. All the heavy hitters gonna be there. The daughters of Zion gonna step out with their beautiful long dresses, you understand? Strong on deck. That One West style music on deck. 52nd annual Passover.
B&H Ranch, 14149 Players Street, Houston, Texas.
Get with it to get lost, man.
Got it out the mud, straight up out the basement. The world done made me crazy. The world done turned crazy.
You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord of course. On one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground. We go.
West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. one West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy, it get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends or we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he a domino. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical, guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since. All the dominance of one West rising to prominent. Cause I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got Groupons for Uber. Rhymes hard like they been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by in black Impalas, let the semi holler. The showstopper, been as proper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm doing them off Patron, a premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modified the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's worth the mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when the heat's on, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had them niggas spin like a tire, but down the D, and I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel to igniter, I'm winning, coming through with the title because UP. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me.
Of the Lambs. If you've never been there, that's something you really don't want to miss. And then Sunday, April 25th, the Feast of Unleavened Bread there in Houston, Texas. And that'll go from the 25th through the 1st of May. I am Officer 1000 Mashah, Priest Officer 1000 Mashah, and this is Friday La-Sha-Wan Quadash class, the Holy Tongue. The Holy Tongue. This is your language, Israel. And we're going to start like we always start from the beginning. We're going to be putting up what? Basics. We're going with the lettering. So, we're not going to go real fast. So if, in fact, you're still kind of new, I want to give you time to get your pen, your paper, your pencil, your paper, and get ready to sit down and write down. This is the best way to learn your language, is to write it and speak it. Write it and speak it. And so we start with the writing portion, and we go through this first part every class. Why? Because we want everybody to come in to be able to go to a more in-depth class by having the right basics. So what first we're going to go through is our characters. We call them alphabets. First thing I want you to notice is I'm going to start writing over here. You see that? I'm going to start writing right here. And what this is that meaning we read and write right to the left. Right to left. That's the first thing. Why is that important? Why is that important? Because you don't know when an artifact might be found, like that Back Creek stone, and they left it in the museum, didn't know what it was until somebody that can read Paleo-Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew, when they came in there and saw that, they asked him one question: why do you have this thing upside down? You see. And you want your own, you really want your own language, you know. That's one of the ways they keep us under their foot, is we don't take the time to learn our own language, you see. And when enough of us learn this, then this is going to be, you know, our language of business. It's going to be our way of knowing whether you with us or against us. If you can't speak, you see that? And it's kind of like that today when you hear Shalom, Yahweh B'Shem, Yahweh Shabbat. We know if you don't respond a certain way, or Yahweh Shema B'Shem, Yahweh Shabbat, if you don't respond a certain way, we know you're not with the school. You see that? We say Shalom, you hear somebody saying Shalom or something Shabbat or something like that, you know they're somebody else. They're somebody else. So that's why it's important to know your language. In our language, each character has a sound. Now, try to understand it as a little bit in the English. They have what's called vowels, right? In the English, A-E-I-O-U, right? And that gives your consonants full frame. How that works to sound is the combination of consonants and vowels. So that's how they form the word. And ours, each one of our characters has its own sound. This is ah. The first one is ah, ba. But don't get it twisted. These are not your ABCs. For indeed, the next one is ga. Ah, ba, ga, da. That's how you want to learn them. You want to learn them by their sound. That's an ah, that's a ba, that's a ga, that's a da. You see that? That's how you want to learn them. And write this down again. Write this down, because the sisters, the brothers that's been here a little while will let you know we'll get the writing stuff, and you won't have these English letterings under it. So you want to memorize the ah, the ba, the ga, the da, the ha, the wa, the za. You want to do that. You want to memorize that. And again, write it down yourself so that you can have your copy. So that you can have your copy to always refer back to. And it's going to be more important to you simply because what? You did it yourself. You see? You did it yourself. And you know, when we back in the day, when we was learning to play instruments back in the school, we learned something real interesting. We had to practice. You see that? That's how we got better. We had to practice. I could look at that trumpet all day long and carry it around all day long, but if I didn't pick it up and practice it, then I wasn't going to develop. Same with this here. That's why when the kids are small, you have them right there, ABCs out. You give them small words, cat, dog. Same difference. And you talk with them in that language, you see. Same difference. Okay, here we go. Ah, ba, da, ga, da. This right here, this is the ha, wa, za, kha, and ta. You see that? Okay, and you keep hearing that ah sound on every one, right? That ah sound is our one of two vowel sounds. There's no O's, no U's sounds in our language. So when somebody says shalom, you know they're not speaking our language. You see that? It's not the same. It's not the same. There's no U sounds, there's no O sounds. You see that? There's no long A sounds. You see, ah, ba, you hear that ah sound? Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, sa, kha, ta. You see that? Okay. Then we got, so keep that in mind. That makes it easier to learn if you understand, if you understand that vowels, that vowel sound. All right, we got here, this is the ya. That's the ya. This is the ka. See that? Not to be confused with the ka right here. This is the ka, hard K, ka. You see that? This, of course, is the la, ma, na. See that? And the sa. Okay? Ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa. You're going to always have that sound unless something else happens. What I'm giving you is the hard sounds of each character now. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, kha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa. Those are the hard sounds. Those are the main sounds for those characters. Remember that. They will change. Now, remember I told you we got two vowel sounds? Here's the second one. I. That right there is I. You know we have a long I sound in English, vowel sound, but in Hebrew we won't have an I sound. You see, it won't be no I. It won't be no O sounds. No as in U sounds. Ah and I. Ah and I. It's really, when you see words, when we put words together, you know it's going to have an I in there or an I in there. It's going to always have an I. In every word, it's going to have an I. You see. Every word have an I. But we only have two vowels, ah and I. And they are not necessarily used as vowels. You know. It's just, that's the way it changes the sound. Like an ah in English would be an A. You have to learn the letter first, right? A, and then you have to learn it can sound like A, it can sound like ah, it can sound like ah. Like ah as in cat, ah as in car, A as in cake. You see that? Here, all you have to learn is that's the ah. That's it. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta. And that's ka. Ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I. Let me finish it out for you. I hope you're writing these down. This is probably the clearest you ever see me write these. Gonna get a little tight right here because I'm trying to get them all in. And not get behind that. Let me see, do I have room on the bottom? Yeah, I think it's gonna be tight. Just gonna be able to see it. And here's the rest of it. You got Pa, you got Taza. That's the character. See, when you think in the sound turn, you don't have to look for a character like a T, and then how do I pronounce the T? This is how this is pronounced. Taza. That's the character name. Taza. The name of the character is how it sounds. Ra. Ra. This is Kwa. It's Kwa, and this is Ra. You see that? Ra. This is Sha, and this is Tha. See that? Not to be confused with Ta. This is Tha. All right, you got that? I'm gonna leave that up there for a few minutes. Make sure everybody writes it down. Do we have that written down? Do we have that written down? And of course, we would love to go on to new things, but we want to see how well you've gotten the old things. And how do we do that? We're not on StreamYard today, but I'll still get your messages. You got this? I'll still get your messages. Now, let's see who can tell me. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna type it into your chat room. And what I want to know, I know we want to move on to new stuff, right? But let's ask ourselves, how well do we have the old stuff? So, explain to me what this is right here. When you see this with a word, you see we need to move on to new stuff. You see that right there? Explain to me what that is and how it affects the La-Sha-Wan Kodash. Anybody can answer. Anybody can put this answer into that. You don't have to, not just the person that asks. And the reason I say this is something that gets explained at the beginning of every class. What we're doing right now is what we do in every class. We want to make sure that you have the basics. That you have the basics. I don't believe they made the La-Sha-Wan Kodash a mandatory class. But we need this. We need this. The more of us get into learn the La-Sha-Wan Kodash, the more of us there is to teach it. The more of us there is to teach it. All right, I'm going to check this chat room. All right, young man. The young man replied that that's a connector. That's absolutely correct. Can somebody else tell me how it works? Matter of fact, I see two of them up top. One here and one here. Obviously, with all that space, there's two different words. What do they do? What do they do? What do these connectors do? Yeah, what do these connectors do? I want somebody besides absolutely correct. The sister said it shows the soft sounds of, it shows the soft sound between two letters. That's correct. I'll take it. I'll take it. But let's see if we can get a better explanation. Somebody tell me what this is. What is that right there? What character is that? Now, you see that? Anybody can give me the answer to that. What character is that right there? Look on your sheet. Look on your sheet. We're working with these connectors here. The sister said it shows the soft sound between the two. Okay, she's in the ballpark. What we got here? Con. That's a shot. That's a shot. And I know what the sister's trying to say, and we're going to show you what she's trying to say. That is a shot. What character is this? What character is that right there? All right, we say, if we got the shot, what character do I write next right to it? To the right of the character. That's the what? That's the dot. Absolutely correct. So, if I ask you to read this as a word, to read what you see as a word, how would that word sound? Give me the pronunciation of that word. You got a dot and you got a shot up there. So how would I pronounce that word? If I'm calling that a word, how would I pronounce that word right there? I got a dot and I got a shot up there. Put them together, and what word do we have? Work with me, work with me. Stay with me now. I got a dot up here, I got a shot up here, right? If that's a word, how is it pronounced? If that was to be a word, how would we pronounce that? Con. It would be pronounced da-sha. You see that? Con. That would be pronounced da-sha. Now, to the sister's point, she said when we use a connector, right, it creates something called a soft sound. So, she said a soft sound between them. But let's see what actually happens. We know this stands by itself is sha. Okay, we know that. That's a shot. But now, and we know this is a da, right? Now, we put the connector. What is this now? What is that second letter now? That second character. That's just a fast boy. Con, sister. Con, aqua, con. It is now. This becomes just sh. So the word becomes dash. You see that? Not dasha. The word is no longer dasha. You see that? It is no longer dasha. When you add the connector, it becomes dash, not dash. Okay? Don't make the mistake of seeing that that. And we in Hebrew class and you say dash. I'm gonna give you a demerit or something, you know what I'm saying? But that is dash. Our sound is always ah. That dash, and then look, show you something. The word was up here all the time. Put a qua right there, and what we got? Quadash. And that's how this is becomes quadash instead of quadasha. You see that? It's not quadasha because of the connector from the da to the sha. You get the soft sound, the second letter, always the second letter, always the second letter sound changes to that soft sound, to a less prominent sound. Without the, or let's say to a sound without the ah. Show you what I mean. That's probably the best way to explain it. It changes, that connector changes the pronunciation of that second character so that it's pronounced without the ah portion of that. That is probably the best way to explain it. And let me show you what I mean. Let's do a different one. We know every character got a hard ah to it except for the I. You see that? Except for the I. Now, let's do that. That is pronounced what? Tazah Ra. You see that? And I'm just putting these together. I'm not saying these are words. I'm just showing you when you put characters together how they sound. This is Tazara. Tazara. You see that? Tazara. Right there. Boom. And so in English, Tazara. See that? That's what's there. But if I write it again with the connector, who can tell me what does it become? Help me out. Help me out. Tell me, what does that become? Who can tell me, what does that become when I put this Tazara, but what does it become now? Shiraz Tazara. That's funny. But who's that got the right answer? Somebody got the right answer. Khan, Sister D. Khan. Yeah, that's Shiraz got that right. It becomes Tazar. You see that? In other words, the connector changes the sound of the second character by eliminating the I. That's the best way to explain. This is not Ra anymore, but Tazar, which is, it's not Tazra, you know, it's not Tazara, it's Tazar now. And that works with all of them. So that's what the connector does. All right? That's what the connector does. Now, what do we want to deal with today? What do we want to deal with today? let's deal with if you have a child, or about to have a child, or you have a wife, and you want to name them. You want to name them. One of the ways we do that is we look, we got a host of vocabulary words that we know the Hebrew pronunciation of, you see. Like, if you wanted to recognize that someone is an artist, that the way they do things or whatever, you see them as an artist in doing that. You know what? Then this would be part of their name. Tazayar. Tazayar. See that connector? So you can kind of see somebody wrote Tazariak's name up there, right? Captain Tazariak. And watch this. I'm trying to remember how to spell it in English. Captain Tazariak. Is that right? Well, what I want you to do is to look at the first part of his name. See that? And then that would be a yeah. See that? That's all you do is add it. But that artist, so I would have to think, looking at that Captain Tazariak was seen when he got his name, had something to do with artistic. Let's see if I can find another one. I'll show you something here. Here's another one coming up. This is how it works. I'll give you two English words. Said the right way, that is so poetic. And did I spell it wrong? Good, my English is getting bad. That's a good thing. Heavenly rain. You see that? So what we would do, if you describe it someone, we name people based on their attributes or what we believe will be their future attributes. Okay. That's how we name people here in Israel. Yeah, once all those spells, I hear you sis, once all those spells get you, you got stuff in all the spells, they will spell it all the way out for you. But that's a good thing because we got to recognize that we can associate Captain Tazariak something about artists, because that is Tazar, which is part of his name. Tazayar. You see that? It's there. So now we're going to look at this one. Why? Because there's somebody in the school. This is what their name means. And I'm not, look, so y'all know, I'm not getting in anybody's personal business. I'm already clear to do this. So let's look up the word heaven. Since it says heavenly, right? Now watch this. Once we get this word, you're gonna find out it's a lot of people. Watch this. I don't know how to spell it, I just want to get it right. You see? That's Shamayam. Shamayam. Shemayim, and then we look up the word for rain. And I already know what that is. Matar. So when this sister receives her name, Shemayim Matar, they were saying she had the attributes of a heavenly rain. Everybody understand that? So, as I'm looking, it seems a few of you could be looking towards Hebrew names. I see some English names on here. And if you're the one that's going to be named, understand that it is a process. Look at your attributes. Truly look at them and say, okay, this is an attribute of mine. Does he see it? You know, a child, you're going to name your child, you kind of prophesy, I would guess, into their future. If you name your child Great Warrior, you know, in Hebrew, then he will live up to that. You see that? He will live up to that. So, it's not fair that y'all don't have this list. So what I'm gonna do is start something a little new. And if you copy these words down, you will eventually end up with the same list of vocabulary words that I have. All right? And we're going to go alphabetically, English alphabet. All right? So what I'm going to do is everybody write this down. Everybody write this down. Able, above, accident. And this list is not exhaustive. Address. Okay. Now we're going to give you I want you to give me the pronunciation. I'm going to give you the Hebrew. give you the Hebrew. I need everybody's participation too on this one. Need everybody's participation. I'm gonna put the Hebrew here, but I need you to give me the pronunciation. Why? This is about learning to read Hebrew. Just my penmanship could be a little better. And address. Right? This is what I need back from you guys. Get me the pronunciation. When I'm giving you, these are vocabulary words. You write these down. We're going to put out a few of these each week. My list is definitely not exhaustive, but we can run with this for a minute. You know, we can run with this for a minute. So, we coming in with the answers yet? I need, if you could, give me some pronunciations to this stuff now. Able, above, accident, address, these are the English words. These are the same words written in Hebrew. What I need is the pronunciation of the Hebrew. That's what I need from you, is the pronunciation of the Hebrew. If you've been in the La-Sha-Wan class for any length of time, this should be pretty easy. And believe it or not, it is these basics. It's these basics that's going to begin you to reading this. Now that we add in what? Vocabulary words, English, giving you the English word, then the Hebrew word that corresponds with it. Now you're going to be able to actually begin to get into conversations. Why? Because you're building your vocabulary. Remember, in English, you started off with what? See Jane run. See Spot run. All they just did, this is what they was teaching you. They was teaching you see, and they was teaching you run. They were going to make sure you got that. And this was anybody from Dick, Jane, Sally, Spot. You see that? Why? So you can, you was making, and these were little kids. This is how they teach little kids. You make the association. And that's how we begin to make sentences. You see that? So now we what? Able, above, accident. We'll take some of these and we'll do some, in Hebrew, see, spot, run type scenarios, but we have to have these words. So, do we have the pronunciation back here in Hebrew? Come on, brothers and sisters, let's get this. It's not hard. This is not hard. I see y'all in here. And you don't you don't have to get them all before you put something in. You don't have to get them all. If all you got is able, type that in. If all you got is above, type that in. You see? That's how we keep that participation up. Everybody needs to participate. So, what we got? Yeah, what we got? I need that first word. Somebody give me that first word. Somebody give me that first word. I know my handwriting not that bad. I know y'all can read it. I'm looking at the same screen. Well, for time's sake, is that what we say? This is, it's pronounced Yakab. Now, people gonna want to say Yakel. Make that a long A. No such thing in Hebrew. Some of the things we be reading, brothers that wanna, sisters that wanna pronounce Kel Makalaka or something like that, and it's not. It's Ka. Yakab. Remember, it's about the I. Now, the second one, it should be real easy. Yakab, that's correct. Sister D, I'm trying to understand this response. Above male? Oh. Salakia, okay. Is that what you're saying? And you're right. You spelled it absolutely right. Above is ma, aisle. You see that? Ma, aisle. And you see, I had to catch myself. What is she talking about? Male. No, that's the right thing. It's ma, aisle. That's ma, aisle. Accident. Who got it? Absolutely correct, Sister D. Who got me on accident? Asawa. Is that a na? Are we saying na? Or did it just go in? Typed in. Asa-Wan, I think that's what you're saying, sister. You said Asa-Wan? Absolutely. Asa-Wan. That's what that is. Asa-Wan. And the last one, address. Sister D, you might want to type that in again. We don't have a J anywhere in our language. We don't use a J. So it would definitely not be Ja. Look, maybe it's a mistyping because you're close. Look at that again. I think that's just mistyping. Yeah, Asa-Wan is correct. another shot. All you gotta do is get this sound of this character right there, and then you'll have it right. Then you will have it right. Kathabath. That's correct. Kathabath. That's absolutely correct. Kathabath. The bath is because of the connection instead of batha. Katha. It could, if that wasn't there, it'd be kathabatha, but it's kathabath. You see that? All right. How many of these? Y'all write it down. Write it down. Practice these words. Kathabath. And when you write them, don't get used to not putting space between when you're doing the English lettering. Don't put space between just because it's a syllable. If it's one word, keep that together. When you start putting space, then that should begin another word most of the time. Okay, y'all got it all? Everybody got those written down? We're gonna go pick up some more words. I'm gonna try to figure out a way to start presenting these vocabulary words in themes, you know. But right now I'm just alphabetical. But I believe if we use some type of theme, then we might get a better feel for hearing the word and knowing what the word means a lot easier. Because what is your katabath? You know, what's your address? We got to figure out ways to use that word. There was an La-Sha-Wan. Who was in the La-Sha-Wan? Shalom, you know. Salakia, to the mighty man, what? Ma'ab, to the mighty man over me, to the mighty man above. Salakia, Ma'ab, to the mighty man, Ma'ab. So, y'all got that? Give you a few more seconds to write that down. Anya Yaka, I'm able. Anya Yaka, I'm able. You know, Anya is I. Is I. We need to see that a lot. Anya, Anya, Anya. We need to learn that. That's something we need to repeat it enough that it's just second nature. You know, like shalom is second nature. You hear this? Shalom, Kwam Yasharala. For the soldiers, stuff like this becomes second nature because it's drilled into you when you go to school. It's drilled into you when you go to school, and it's true. You see. So, hope everybody got that. Anybody need any more time to write all that down? Right. If I'm asking, do you need any more time? And you say la or you can say come. You see that? You can say la or you can say come. And we want to, just in here, start using more Hebrew. All right, I'm finna erase. There we go. Here we go. Like I said, there's no rhyme or reason to this yet, but there will be. We start with address, we're gonna go with advice. Afraid. After. Let's get your vocabulary up. And against. See that? Against. Same thing. I'm gonna write the Hebrew word, and you're gonna give me the pronunciation. After. And against. These are easy. God, these are easy. Now, here we go. Get me some pronunciation. These are all literally 3-letter words, which should be real easy, even for our newer students. This should be fairly easy. Give me that pronunciation. Like I said, you're building your vocabulary. Write these down: able, advice, afraid, after, and against. And why am I asking you to give me pronunciation? That's how we learn. That is how we learn. Okay, I'm looking. Where we at? Sister D, Sister C out of Chicago. What do we got in here? Ratazan, I'm sure. It's not too hard. Young man, give me something, give me something, give me something. I'm looking forward to it now. I'm looking forward. How shall I have? La-Sha. Okay. it's coming. And let's see if that's right. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. That's an I. Itazar. For afraid. And I'm giving y'all what y'all classmates are writing down. Let's see. Fakad is absolutely correct. Ahaka'a. Let's take a look at. We're gonna look at after. Well, afraid was Pakad. That's correct. You think you're close, sis? Let me see what you got there. Look at after again. You wrote aha ka. Aha ka. Look at that. This is what? This is just an ah. I'm looking for the ha. You see that? So for this one here, it would be a car. You see that? A car. And it would not be wrong to spell it like that. And against. What we got? Against. Absolutely correct. Nah, God. Not God. See right here? That's a God. 8 words, that's good enough. That's good enough for the day. We're not through. Just want to make sure you get those. Itazah, advice. Pakad is afraid. Akar is after, Akar. And Nagad, that's a D. Nagad, all right? I can make that better. Nagad. Nagad. All right. I hope everybody got those written down. All right. Switch gears. We're going to switch gears a little bit. I have to forgive me, brother, getting mixed up. I'll be on the right spot. I'll walk all the way over there and I got to write from here anyway. So probably should write this bigger. Okay. What we got in front of us is actually conversation. Shalom, ma shalamka. Shalom, ma shalamka. That's saying, hello, how are you? How about that? Literally it says, peace, how is your peace? Peace, how is your peace? Shalom, ma shalamka. Ma shalamka. You got that? Shalom, ma shalamka. Literally, peace, how is your peace? Or, hello, how are you? Shalom, ma shalamka. That is okay to greet somebody like that. Hello, how is your peace? And the answer is Shalom Ya Tawa. My peace is good. You see that? My peace is good. Shalom Ya, my peace. Shalom Ya Tawa. Y'all got that? Now, y'all writing this down, right? You guys are writing this down, right? Shalom, my shalamka, shalom ya tawa. Tawa. Not to be confused with tawada. See that? All right. I trust y'all got that. We're going to move on. What are we saying? Hello, how are you? Literally, peace. How is your peace? I'm fine. Shalom ya tawab. Or, literally, my peace is good. My peace is good. You got that? Shalom, my shalamka. You use the saying. Say it a million times until it becomes automatic. Shalom, my shalamka. My shalamka. And then shalom ya tawa. You're gonna see that ya pop up when it's referring to the first person singular. When it's coming back to you. When it's coming back to you, it's referring to you. It's referring to the I. You see that? When it's referring to the me, referring to the I, look for that ya to pop up in these words. You see that? The ka, I think, is referring to you. We're going to go back over that, but I'm pretty sure that's referring to you, the ka on the end. Shalom ka. Ma shalom ka. How are you? And then shalom ya, my peace. Shalom ya, right there. My peace. Shalom ka, you. Shalom ya, me. You see that? You, me. No, I'm not reading the textbook, but the Most High, He bless you with what He bless you with. And patterns, and particularly in English, in words, in languages. I don't know, I can see them. Or just understand them, they happen. So, shalom, hello, ma shalom ka, how is your peace? And in response, shalom ya, or my peace, tawab, is good, it's fine. Y'all got that? Write it down. I'm telling you some good stuff today. These last 15 minutes gonna be some good stuff right here. Okay, we said hello, shalom. We said, how are you, ma shalom ka? And we responded, I'm good, shalom ya tawab. Now, we want to know this. I'm done. This says, Mashamka. What is that? Remember, we talked conversational. What is your name? Your name. What is your name? Again, that's Mashamka. Mashamka. Not Meshamka, Meshemke, no, Mashamka. So if what is your name, remember the pattern we talked about that we can recognize? In the last thing where we was going, Mashalamka versus Shalom Ya, right? So if I'm saying Mashamka, the Ka is your name. Now I'm gonna come back and say Sham Ya. What is that saying? My name. See that Ya again? It refers the Ka is referring to you. The Ya is referring back to the person that's talking. Back to the person that's talking. Shalom, Shamya, Shamya Masha. You see that? Shamya Masha. My name is Masha. You see that? Now, let's work on this over the weeks too. Why? Because it would be great to be at the Passover and to be able to ask people this in who they are, in Hebrew, in your own language. In your own language. We got, it's called Shayaka, and it's called conversation. It's only one sheet. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20 conversational things that can be learned. So let's work on that in anticipation of getting to the Passover. Now watch this. Shamya is my name is. But what if I want to say it another way? Then I would say Amya. Anya, I am. You see that? Anya, I am. So that would be Anya. Well, let me do it down here. Anya, I am. And again, it'll be I am Masha. You see that? Y'all still with me? Y'all still with me? Are we writing this down? Are we getting it? Can you even see me? Oh yeah, looking good, looking good, looking good. Can you see me? Let's see what we writing. Okay, young man. Still with me, all right. So we did conversation 1. Shalom, hello. Ma shalamka, how are you? Ma shalamka. Shalamka, you. Shalom, peace. How's your peace? Your peace. Ma, how? Ma. Ma is the question, how? Ma. Then go here, Ma Shamka, what is your name? You see that? You see that? So if I go Ma anything, I'm asking what? Or how? Ma Tuwab, how good? Ma Tuwab, how good? Ma Shalamka is how you doing? Get that ka in there. How is Ma. Ma can also be what. You see that? Ma Kadash. Ma Kadash. Kadash. What's new? Anya. Kadash. Anya. Ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new. Anya. And that's Kha, not Kwa. This is actually what I'm saying. Kadash. You see that? And I'm jumping around, but okay, we're going to erase this. We're going to keep that right there. We're going to just, let's see how quickly you can retain. Let's go back. Somebody, give me the pronunciation. I know you can't write it in the Hebrew, but give me the Hebrew pronunciation for hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Write the Hebrew of those words. Write the Hebrew of those words. And y'all know why that's important, right? Because it's going to give you conversational experience. This is a bad dude here. Slaughter the lamb. Real deal right here. Write the Hebrew. What we got here? I am waiting. Okay, your man say shalom, ma shalom ka. Shalom, ma shalom ka. That is actually correct. And when I write it on the board, what I'm not going to do is write the English letters. We're going to write this in the Hebrew because you need to be able to read it. Shalom. Shalom. Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me now, sir? Come. Shalom, no person. The brothers absolutely salaki about that. Shalom. Shalom. Ma. Shalom. Ka. See that? Shalom. Ma shalom ka. Shalom. How are you doing? Peace. How are you doing? Hello. How are you doing? How we know it's asking questions? It's got that ma on the beginning. Got that ma right here, right? And how we know he's talking to somebody else? It got the ka on the end. Shalom, ma, shalom ka. We know shalom means peace. Ma, you see that? What or how? Shalom, peace, you. You see that? How, peace, you. That's literal. That's the literal, straightforward translation. You get that? That's crazy, but that's really how it is. But we so used to English, man, that, you know, our brains are just wired different. So it may be a little bit tough to get it, but understand some of these pointers here. Ma, what, how. You see, it's a question mark. We see the ma. We already know the word shalom. We know it's peace. So every time we see that or a version of that, we know it means peace, right? So we got a ma here, and we got a ka here. In the middle, we got shalom. You see that? So this middle is still what? Peace. Shalom, peace. This is peace. Shalom is in the middle of this word, right? So we know something about this word peace. Ma, what? How, right? Ka, you. How, peace, you. Shalom, peace, how, peace, you, or shalom, or how, or hello, how you doing? How's your peace? Literally, is how, peace, you, or what, peace, you. You see that? Literally. So it's simple. We are not dummies. We can hear something and know exactly what's a matter of fact. Y'all sisters, I gotta mess with y'all sisters for a minute. I do mean this jokingly, but y'all tell us in a minute. You knew what I meant. I remember Mama used to do that. You knew which one I was calling. You knew I was talking to you. I don't care if I called you your brother, your sister, whatever name. You knew what I meant. And listen to this. Shalom here, shalom here. That's peace here, that's peace here. You only got two things different in this word. That's the ma and the ka, right? Ma is how or what. And then ka is the you. So literally, ma shalom ka is what, peace, you. How's your peace? Y'all got that? Y'all got that? Now, the next thing I need you to do is to say, I'm fine. And I'm going to give you a hint. You're going to say, my peace is good. Really say, I'm fine. And then you're going to ask the other person, what is your name? Then you're going to ask the other person, what is your name? Give me that using English characters. Shalom, ma, shalom, ka. That's right on. Right, man. So what we're going to do, let me get that again. I need you to respond to the first question with my peace is good or I'm good. I'm good. We're going to throw some slang in there. We talked about it earlier. Let's see if you get it. I'll accept I'm good. I'll accept that. And then I want you to ask them the question, what's your name? What's your name? Sean. All right? Give it to me how it should sound using English letters. All right? Give it to me using English letters. This is gonna be the last exercise right here. We'll pick it up next week. Now, I'm back. I got me another source. Had some things come up with my materials, but got a source that got me right back on par. We back at it, and this conversation, I want us, and I'm sure mighty men above me will stop me if this wrong, but I want us to be speaking at least this much freely speaking Hebrew. I want us to be able to look and say that's a nice book, yeah, that's a nice garment. Good morning, good night, hello, what's new, and be able to respond, forgive me. We say that all the time. Excuse me, forgive me. We say that all the time. You should already know that. And you know what? I just noticed it's there too. Shalom, Yah. All right, I see it. Shalom, Yah. We could say it could be like that because the way we pronounce things. Okay. But yeah, because Salaka would be kind of insulting. Did you know that? Salaka is forgive me, excuse me. But Salaka is excuse you. Kind of insulting that Ka then changes the word from me to you. So, and how do we know that? We can go back to the Mashamka. How is your peace? That Ka's on the end. Like we say, in the beginning, it's the Ma, that's the question mark. In the beginning, it's the word Shalom, which is we know is peace. And then at the end is Ka. But what are we waiting on? We're waiting on you to respond, students, to say, I'm good, and then to ask the question, what is your name? That's what we're waiting on. Shalom Tawab, you know what? That's so close, but I'm going to say, now I reject that. It wouldn't be Shalom Tawab. Would it be that? No. And guess what? You're so close. You're so close. We've been talking about this. Let's back it up. Shalom means just hello, goodbye, or peace, right? Shalom. Well, watch this. I'm going to ask you, how's your peace? I'm going to say, Ma, meaning how? Shalom ka, right? Shalom is still in there, which means Ma is how, Shalom is peace, and Ka is you. You see, how peace you, or how's your peace? My peace is good. What is not the Ka? What is it at the end of Shalom that makes it mine? Okay. In fact, it's the same thing that Shalom Yah. That's right, Sister D. Absolutely correct. It's Shalom Yah. You see that? Shalom Yah. Tawab. Shalom Yah Tawab. Absolutely. My peace is good. Remember, when you're talking about the my, you're going to get the Yah. When you're talking about me, the me, the my, you're going to get the Yah. That's just a pattern I'm seeing. You get that Yah. But if I'm talking about your peace, it's going to be the what? It's going to be the Ka. Shalom Yah versus Shalom Ka. You see that? My peace, your peace. Only thing that changes is the Yah and the Ka. If I want to know how, I started off with a Ma. You see that? I started off with a ma. Mashamka. Ooh. Nah. Salaki. Y'all got that? I hope so. And the last one is, what is your name? What is your name? What do we say? What or how is a what? Is a what? It's going to be a ma. You see that? A ma. And watch this. I'm asking somebody else their name. I'm talking about the you. So at the end, I know I'm going to have a ka. You see that? And now the question is, what is the word for name? That's all we need now, right? What's the word for name? Can anybody guess? It is Sham. It is Sham. What is your name? Ma Shamka. Ma Shamka. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw it written like this. You see that? I wouldn't be surprised if you saw it written like that, making this a word by itself. You see that? Ma Shamka. You see that? But for now, we do it like that. Mashamka. Mashamka. What is your name? The word for name is Sham. You got that? That means name. Sham. So, how would you respond? Shamka is your name, then you'll respond my, which would be what? Sham Ya. See that? Sham Ya. Sham Ya Masha. Sham Ya Kodash. You see that? Sham Ya. Sham Ya, not Yar. Sham Ya. Y'all got that? Remind me next week to do this again. Start at the top. And I want to start seeing some of this in the chat room. Conversational. What we learned, please take this seriously. Because the next time I speak to you, I might just say, Shalom Mashamka. You see that? And let's see if you got it. I want to hear back. Shalom Ya Tawah. You see? Shalom Ya Tawah. So this is the ISUPK. This has been the La-Sha-Wan Kodash class. And remember, the ISUPK started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, 1969. And we've been under Commanding General Yohanan, going throughout the earth, teaching the truth of the Bible. And the truth of the Bible is what? That the so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native American Indians are in fact the lost children of Israel. Why are they called lost? Because Israel don't even know who he is or who she is. She thinks she's Latino. She thinks she African American. He thinks he is Puerto Rican. Lost. He don't even know that he's Israel. She doesn't even know. So this is just one of many classes during the week to teach Israel who they are. Remember, pay your tithes, and let's get ready for the Passover. Shalom, Israel.
Trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to rhythm man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain. Something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword with a